This is a super fleet that people are scared to hear. Whatever planet they encounter will be conquered. After robbing all resources and people, the adult male will proceed to activate this bomb to destroy this planet from space. However, their last step is the legendary Dark Galaxy. The leader of this squad is King Mark Sand. He was just a normal person, but after returning from the Dark Galaxy, he had a body that no one could defeat. But someone once predicted that the conquering star would eventually end the reign of King Mark Sand. Mark Sand believed in this prediction, so he decided to destroy the revenge star first. But he did not know that there was still one person still alive. Since leaving the triple star, Radek has been living in hiding on an icy planet for 5 years. But now the bounty hunter has found him. He escaped from the incoming net and stood in front of the store in defiance. The Real bounty hunter has appeared. He ventured into the cave entrance. The length of the engine wing was less than 2 m. They slowly moved forward to search for Reddick's figure. Unexpectedly, when turning around, all the cannon tubes hanging on both sides of the warship were broken. When the captain realized the danger and tried to escape, Reddick secretly sneaked into the cockpit. After greeting the captain, Reddick learned that someone had offered a reward of $15 million if he could kill him. And the person who made this request was the missionary he saved. Reddick will not forgive ungrateful people. So he hijacked the bounty hunter's ship and quickly went to the planet where the missionary was staying. In the evening when the missionary came home, Reddick shaved his hair and waited for the maniac, but in fact the person who set the reward was not the missionary. The missionary led him to meet the leader of the elemental clan. It turned out that they wanted him to join, so they brought him here. They begged him to meet King Mark Sand. They said a lot, but in conclusion there was only one sentence: humanitarian coercion. But he didn't want to get stuck in this mud and prepared to leave and return to the planet. But at this time King Mark Sand's army arrived. Countless internal attack groups poured in. The soldiers stubbornly fought back and chased away the siege team, but unexpectedly, the enemy, not caring about casualties, immediately activated weapons of mass destruction to self-destruct. With such a real human sea battle, the team soon took control of the entire planet. When Reddick returned, the missionary's entire family had been killed. Early the next morning, King Mark Sand landed on the ground. This form of attack is very harmful to soldiers. He let people of different faiths join the army to rescue the lost soldiers. Then a soldier stood up and said he would not betray his faith. Upon hearing this, King Mark Sand decided to kill Ichikozioa. Evil will take over his body and serve him. At this time, with a head without hair standing out in the crowd, Reddick decided to go to King Mark Sand not only not to be angry but also to show good intentions. At this time, the British Queen came to visit the martial arts group to show off their strength. All the border guards will be brought here and marked. Like stubborn people will be taken to a room to be brainwashed. When the Queen closed the door, Reddick took out his knife and wanted to see what they were up to. Unexpectedly, after that, Reddick was attracted by some force. Reddick's brainwashing begins. At this time, King Mark Sand was confident that he would have a powerful minion. But when the remote control device reveals that Reddick is the avenging star, his face suddenly changed. After that, immediately send someone to eliminate Reddick. Once the bag was opened, Reddick picked it up easily, not before the river captains came in. But everywhere here are Mark Sand's people. Even if he succeeded in escaping, the warship would quickly catch up with him. At this time, a battle group shot down the warship. At this time, bounty hunters also found this place. Reddick worries that he doesn't have a spaceship to leave, so he intended to surrender to get a ride home. Reddick was taken to Farmesta's prison. The bounty hunter turned him in. But they took advantage of the management fee to reduce the bonus from 15 PM EUS to 70,000 EUS. The bounty hunter saw that the reward was too low, so the two began to negotiate. At this time, the radio broadcast into the prison announced the opening. The prisoners became noisy and restless. What they are worried about is not being able to beat the prisoners. Because those who come in are not new prisoners, but real animals released by the prison tree, to reduce prison management costs. The warden uses this method to control the number of soldiers. Reddick doesn't know this. Not long after, he was called out by a wild animal. Like his eyes seemed to have some magic. The beast just stopped and looked at him and then considered Reddick as a fellow. Later, Reddick met a stubborn person again. This is a little girl he previously saved. Now the girl has grown up. Don't you know this is pain? Am I going to kill you like a pig? What did you say? If not, I will use this return cup to take your life when Reddick says so. These two guys immediately picked up their weapons. When they saw Reddick picking up Chia from the ground, they immediately ran away. On the other hand, the conflicted yard erupted violently. Taking the opportunity to kill each other, Reddick sneaked up to the control room. From there, you can observe the army gradually changing from here. At the same time, the master's son left for Mesta. On the observatory 30 kilometers away, their time was tight because the sun would quickly rise. At that point, Mesta will turn into an electric prison. 10 men thought to step out of the line. As soon as he came into contact with the sunlight, his body immediately disappeared. The environment at Mesta is extremely harsh. For example, the temperature in sunny places can reach up to 700 degrees Celsius. The degree on the opposite side of the sun is as low as -300 degrees Celsius. The sun was rising, Reddick and the others ran quickly across the ground. Once the sun behind them shines on them, the last straw can only be death. At this time, they were hit with a high, faceless kick. Reddick did not hesitate at all, but climbed up to try to escape. When they went up to try to escape, the ground below was hit by the hot sun, causing them to scoop up sticky rice and turn it into stone. Time is running out, and Reddick wishes he would venture into the queue. After death by fire 1. They reached the location of the remaining ship. The commander's captain was dead. At this time, King Maxan's men discovered them hiding in the cliff and immediately surrounded them. When the sun once again reveals itself, Reddick must fight against them. But even then they were still outnumbered, so they were outnumbered. The day she was about to kill him, Reddick once again discovered the power of milk in his body. King Maxan's men were immediately blown away. But then he also fell into a coma because of too much pride. When he woke up again, he discovered that he had been pulled into line. And the person who called him was one of Maxan's henchmen. He showed him even though the above seal was upside down. When Reddick saw this symbol, he immediately panicked. Because this is the symbol of the subjugation of the star, this relationship has been successfully corrupted. At this time, he only had half of his soul, belonging to the guardian star. He doesn't have the ability to take revenge on his clan, but he can turn his wishes